So, hey guys, today I will be talking about how to prepare for the CN. Now I know most of the candidates try to avoid CN as much as possible. Even when I were preparing with the 2020 batch, I used to avoid the CN as much as I could while solving the question in test series. Because the fact is that the which I realized later is that even though CN might look vast, the questions related to CN or on the CN are very easy to answer most of the times. But what happens is that we never have that much of a coverage on the syllabus. That's why we tend to avoid the CN. So even though you might find the computer networks as a very difficult subject, trust me, once you cover the syllabus, it's very easy to answer. But the main problem comes in covering the syllabus. I understand that it's not very easy to cover the CN syllabus. Even when I was the beginner, I also used to think that I should not prepare CN. Instead, I should focus my time on the other subject. But believe me, if you want to be in a top 100 or top 50, you will need the CN because the questions are easy, and once you cover the syllabus, you will be in good position to answer them. Now the weightage of CN is around 8 to 10% in last few years. There are two books in CN which you can follow. The one is the Forozen and the other is the Tannenbaum. Now there are means it's like partition. Two parties are there. One is of Forozen and one is of a Tannenbaum. So I used to belong to the Forozen that because I had prepared my computer networks during my college through the Forozen. So let me show you those two books. So here you are having Frozen and this is the Tannenbaum. I had kept their PDFs in the description. Now, the good thing about the Frozen is that at the end of the every chapter, you will see the summary. See, this is the chapter of our TCP, UDP, and SCTP. Now here you will be having the summary. Now this summary covers most of the important things that you might forget during the exam. So what I will recommend you is that you follow whichever book you would like to follow on your own. No issues there. But please at least go through the summary section of the Frozen after reading each and every chapter because it will cover very minor details which are useful in solving the questions. If there suppose there comes a theoretical question based on the TCP. Now if the question is like whether the TCP is full duplex or not. Now in this type of questions, you will need the summary of the Frozen will help you a lot. See, here there is a point. TCP provides process to process full duplex and connection oriented service. Now, if you haven't read this point in preparing the computer networks, then it might take some time for you to logically derive that the TCP is a full duplex. Because even if you are smart, yes, but still it will take a little bit of a time to understand and to come at that conclusion. But if you have read the property in the summary section, you can able to solve that question very easily and move on fast, right? So keep this in mind whenever you are preparing the CN. Just go through the summary of that chapter through the Frozen. That will help you a lot. Okay. Now the online resources, if you want to watch any YouTube videos, then the Gate Smashers and the Knowledge Gate are the channels which you can follow to learn the CN. Now the topics are the physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, and the application layer. Now in the past few years, the questions related to physical layer are not that much frequently asked. However, the data link layer and the network layer are the hottest when it comes to the questions and followed by the transport layer. Now in data link layer, you will have those stop and wait, go back and selective repeat protocols, then SISMA CD, bit stuffing, byte stuffing. These are all the important topics and you will see most of the time the questions which are in the physical layer will be related to these topics. There is not much of a variation you will see, right? So be thorough with these concepts and try to solve as many as questions of the data link layer. Then the next one is the network layer. Now in network layer, there is a very good chance for the examiners to set a tricky questions, because it involves lots of headers, and second there are very minor details, like you must remember the format of the IP headers in order to answer a few of the IP related questions, right? So you need to be thorough with that. You need to remember the header, right? Then you should understand the importance of each and every bits in the IP header, like do not fragment, move, fragment, etc. After that, in the network layer, what next important thing is that the routing protocols, right? So distance vector, link state, RIP, OSPF, basically these two are based on that only. But these are the protocols related to which you will be asked questions. Then next is the what we most of the time see is that DHCP, boot p, ICMP, these related questions. And the next important is the token bucket, right? So these are the questions which will be asked in the network layer. Now we have the transport layer. Now see, transport layer is the topic where if you know the concepts properly, you will answer the question in a fraction of a second, because there is not much variation in transport layer. If you've done with the gate previous year question and you are solving the test series, then yes, most of the time you will be able to answer the transport layer question in gate also. Now here the main problem is that you people mostly avoid this topic, but once you learn that avoidance, multiple additive increase, multiplicative decrease, these are the topics related to the transport layer, how the TCP connection is built, how the three-way handshaking is done, right? So for that you need to remember the state transition diagram also. So these are the some of the important things which you will have to remember. Also the UDP header, TCP header are the required one. And the next one is the application layer. Now in application layer, what you need to do in order to prepare for the application layer, just go to the Forozen, refer, and then see the application layer topic where you will be having like DNS and DHCP and all that stuff, and just go through the summary, right? So see here, let me go down. Yes, this is the chapter of DNS. Now just read through the theory, whatever the theory might be, and just go through the summary, right? It's very important to go through the summary, because the questions will be theoretical most of the time in case of the application layer, and if you don't know the theory, then it's very difficult to answer. At least for me, if I don't know the theory related to the application layer, most probably I used to leave the question, right? So that was one of the biggest mistake. See, sorry. Here we can see that the if the message size is less than 512 byte, UDP will be used. Otherwise, TCP will be used. So see, these are the criteria, and the 512 is the threshold value. Now, if you don't read this, you can't derive on it, right? It's something implementation based. It's not something which we can think logically and arrive at, like the DSA or the discrete math. So that's why CN is little bit on a tougher side, because syllabus coverage is vast. Once you cover the syllabus, then it's like very easy to answer the question. So keep this thing in mind. Also, the strategy for CN which I personally used and would recommend you is to practice as much as a question as you can. Please don't try to avoid the CN during the test series or the even in the subject wise test, right? Please try to attempt as much as a question as you can, because that will improve your understanding and the experience. So keep updating yourself and add whatever the minor details or the concepts you learn in your revision notes. In the description, I will add my personal notes. See, I also had made these notes in my second year, so this will be helpful to you. I had made these based on the Frozen. That's the book I followed personally. So see, these are the headers, then all the stuff related to the topic, and here are some details. This is the chart for the three-way handshake protocol, how this works, etc. So just do it, and I hope you all are doing well. So we'll meet in the next video notes.